This one will be massive. Legacy 2026, the Independence Edition. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Rodney Bay Pavilion. It's the big war. Legacy presents one of the Caribbean's greatest artists ever. The undisputed queen of soca, Destra. Yes, Destra Garcia. Destra. Then our groovy giants, Teddyson John, doing his vintage set.
I must have a woman to come and wine up on me.
And King Alpha. Plus the outstanding St. Lucian cast, a mix of legends and rising stars. Ashanti, Educator, Desra, Manchas, Black Eye, Short Pants and more. Legacy 26 will be an epic show. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Rodney Bay Pavilion. Limited early birds $120. Regular $150. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Sponsored by Republic Bank, Massey Stores, First Citizen, IBS Solution, Piton Bear, Crystal Clear Water, Flow, and the Independence Committee.
Come your police, come on again, find out.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Monday afternoon to you, everyone, at the start of another week, at the start of another month for the Real Issues. It is the second day of February 2026. This is the Real Issues, the program which airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station that's named Real FM and serves you on the dual frequencies of 91.3 for the north and 91.5 for the south, simulcasting on our sister television station, MBC, that gets to you on channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We're also on Facebook Live and on YouTube live streaming. I'm not solo again today. Well, I was never solo. Our technical operator, Alton Jaquan Joseph, reliable and as always, is here with us once again. But Let us celebrate and welcome the return of Terry Fenelon. My brother, we've shaken hands already, but let's do it for the camera this time, you know.
Yes.
Nice to have you back once
Thanks.
again.
Nice
I
to be
hope
back.
you're feeling, much better and okay
Yeah.
and recomposed and recollected after what has been, I'm sure, a very difficult last few weeks for you. And may your mom rest in peace and your family, be able to come to terms with life going forward without her. People, there are two things I want to talk about. Terry's got a lot of stuff, When he's been away for such a long time, don't ever think that his mind was ever switched off, He's got a lot of things and is chomping at the bit to get into it, and we'll give him the time to do so. Have you ever noticed that long before Donald Trump came on the scene, someone's trying to call, but not right now, okay? Have you ever noticed that long before Donald Trump came on the scene, that in our lives we're meeting a lot of what I would call miniaturized versions of Trump all the time in our lives, and we probably never realized it until that figure of such magnitude and scale arrived, holding what is arguably the most powerful office in the whole world, certainly in our hemisphere, of President of the United States, the awesomeness of it. That we're always meeting a lot of people who are like Trump. Don't tell me you haven't encountered at least one person who's like that, the sadistic sociopath, the person who likes to inflict pain and hurt on other people, who likes to mess up people, who derives a perverse gratification from seeing people squirming, from seeing people groveling. And so they're never trying in a genuine way to make life better for people. The co-worker who's always trying to see how they can mess you up, how they can make other co-workers dislike you, how they can poison the boss's mind against you, who always carrying some little story, about you and so on, that they don't know what they're talking about in order to slip in before somebody says something about you. When you're not there, of course, they're the ones who answering, and it's always like, me you telling about Terry. I know Terry better than anybody. Is it Terry? You see that? Don't let me know. They don't know anything. Sometimes it is motivated by jealousy. There are people who, they hate you if they find out you're getting paid $5 more than them. There's some people at workplaces, they only go around snooping and sniffing to find out who's getting paid what and what they're getting. And then woe be unto if they find out you're getting paid $5 a month more than them. They're doing their best to destroy you. They're doing their best to badmouth you, to do everything. There are other reasons, of course, they do it, but jealousy is one of the most insurmountable of the psychopathologies. People with sick minds, when you see jealousy gets a hold on them, it's often one of those things that's most difficult to let go of. I'll explain to you why I say that some other day, but I don't want to veer off as I'm wont to do very often. But sometimes it's just malice. There are just some people who like to do evil for the sheer heck of it. They like to see other people down. They like to see other people, discombobulated and out of sorts, and they will do so. And I look at Donald Trump, and I say, here's a man who comes, who holds the most powerful office in the land. And you see, the thing about such people, they have a way of making other people for a time feel sweet. You feel all nice and dandy being in their corner. You feel nothing can possibly go wrong because they wield their power, and so you think you're their ally and their friend, and they will always wield the power on your behalf, until you realize and nothing about who you are in relation to them. It's something that arises from inside them. There is just an evil that they just like to monkey wrench things and people, especially those who have that kind of ego about them, the narcissistic types, the types who have been bred on being in the limelight all the time, whether having their own show called The Apprentice and so on, and they will throw everything up in the air. They will make everything turn to smoke, because it puts them at the center of attention and people talking about them. And so, that kind of being a star kind of thing is just in them, and they can't let go of it. Because I look at Trump. Trump came in, and maybe those who were his allies, maybe the MAGA crowd and the Republican congressmen in the House or the Senate and so on, figured, there's a nice feeling about being Donald Trump's friend and his ally, whatever power he wills, until one by one, they begin to realize that it has nothing to do. This is just a guy. He gets gratification from wielding the power in a manner that gives him that feeling in the scrotum that I can do bloody well whatever I want, so I'm going to do it for the sheer heck of it. Did Elon Musk expect that so soon after Trump was sworn in, they would have that fallout? All this thing that's coming about with Epstein and all of that, it's Elon Musk who went and stood that thing up again. And Musk has influence. Look at the people who are getting blown away and affected by it. A member of the British royal family, this and that. Look at Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of the most obsessive, right-wing Republican Trump supporter and so on. Look at now, Trump has changed the name to Marjorie Traitor Greene. She's no longer Taylor Greene and so on. Look at the people he's cussing out. Look at people who are supposed to be allies of Trump and of the United States. Trump is threatening, to invade Canada and to annex Canada and to annex the territory of a NATO ally. I was reading back on some of the history. Donald Trump actually caused the United States at the United Nations to vote against Europe and to vote on the side of Russia, But let's say Russia, he has a winking relationship with Vladimir Putin. But the United States actually voted together with Iran, with North Korea, which are supposed to be avowed enemies, to defeat a resolution in the UN Security Council or General Assembly, I can't remember, that simply would have identified Russia as the aggressor, as the one who started the Ukraine war. United States voted down a resolution. Who can be the aggressor? And voted on the side of Iran, voted on the side of North Korea, voted on the side of Russia, voted on the side of some other avowed enemy to make sure, that this motion was defeated. And I said to myself, wow. I said it before, but it's looking more likely. Resistance to Trump is stiffening in the United States. Chances are, if things continue, he is definitely, or the Republicans are definitely going to lose the midterms and lose them big time. He'll be in a position to be impeached. What happens when all the riots and so on will increase? Will Trump, with his typical serpent smooth tongue, say he doesn't want the situation to continue with United States law enforcement and military and ICE shooting Americans, in the streets? That might be quite a hard emotional and psychological barrier for them to cross. So for the first time, he's going to invite peacekeeping into the United States. And, who knows, he might call upon, maybe that's why he's buttering up Vladimir Putin, that the day will come when the unthinkable will happen. And the United States will ask for peacekeeping assistance in the States. And who knows, Vladimir Putin's Russia might end up capturing and conquering the United States without a shot being fired. It's a little far-fetched, but let me tell you why I'm going down that road. I think I'm a Bible believer, a biblicist, as my friend Ed Harris, the first time I met him, go. And I believe in the biblical timeline and its narrative, that every one of those great and powerful empire leaders and great nation people, whether the Assyrians, Pharaoh of the Egypt, Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, every one of them were brought down when they seemed to be at the peak of their power. When they seemed that, as MC Hammer-san, can't touch this. You can't touch them. They're too powerful. You can't see how you can reach them. Like my friend Albert Fregis used to tell me, boy, he's from Dennery. He really wants to see a change in Dennery. But he used to tell me, mo we ki mod no kaisa bat ST. Mo we ki mod no kaisa ti ST la. Because he was one of them who went up against ST. Mary Skelly lost by 64 votes in 2006. Albert Fredis lost by 61 votes. They were only able to shave off, 3 votes of Estefan, narrowly scraping through. He bounced back well in 2016. He won by 300 and something votes against Jerome Gideon. But as Fredis would realize, beat him. They did, A man called Alfred Errol Prospect came and in 2021 took him out, And next thing you know, things changed so suddenly. Where did Este end up in the 2025 elections? He ended up in the camp, on the side of the Labour Party. So I'm just saying, when you see people seem like they're impregnable, like they enjoy doing evil, like Trump turning against NATO, threatening to take Greenland, threatening to annex, cussing out everybody, and all he can talk about, we have the best military in the world, we have the greatest military, we have the best equipment, so now you can bloody do whatever you want. You can go into a country and just abduct its leader, just like whatever Maduro is, that man, internal things. What gives you the right to go into a country and use your force? And then afterwards, all the narco-terrorism talk stop. It's all about oil. We'll control the oil. We'll sell the oil. We'll take over the oil. We'll do that. It's all because that's what. Same thing with Iran. A country that is your enemy, they have internal turmoil. They have people protesting against the government because of rising cost of living. What do? You stand back and allow it to ferment and to get worse and so on. You send in ships, whatever, and threatening strikes that will kill some of the same people. Because it's not about people, Iranians you suddenly love and you want to protect them from the government. You want regime change so you can control the oil of Iran. The same way with Nigeria. You want to corral and corner huge supplies of the world's oil reserves so that you will have China basically by the nuts begging because they don't have all the power, the economy, so you'll be able to do what you want. It's all the serpent's tongue talking. Meanwhile, you're spiting the Europeans who are supposed to be your closest allies. Meanwhile, you're spitting on this person here, you're spitting on that person here, including Americans who once believed in you so much. You put in tariffs, high tariffs on goods from everywhere, forcing them to pay higher prices. The price of eggs you said you'd bring down on day one is just not happening. And all over, you're doing those kind of things because, folks, they always seem to be at the peak of their power when they're about to get their greatest downfall. So do not despair. When we're hearing things like right now, we can't have Cubans coming to help us with our medical healthcare services anymore. We know what's happening. When we train nurses and so on at great cost, they go to greener pastures, the greener pastures of Canada, of the United States, of the UK and so on. They take them. Our doctors, we're struggling all the time. Now we have those healthcare facilities. We will not at least immediately have sufficient nurses for OKU, St. Jude Hospital, whatever. The Cubans are sending nurses and doctors, whatever, to help us and so on. Right away, all of a sudden, you have to stop that. You have to stop that. And what do? What do? You're going to rise up and fight with them and so on. All of a sudden, we even hearing now that the Cubans who have been so instrumental in helping to train doctors, qualified doctors and nurses, that the Cuban, Antigua had already announced, they ending the Cuban Medical Brigade. United States pressure. They don't care what effect they're having on the societies, such as ours, weak, vulnerable, poor, struggling and so on. I just wanted to stop because my objectives are all that are important. That's why I encourage you. Keep trusting in God. Keep praying. Because every time one of those biggers have felt that they have everything on lockdown, whether they be the Egyptian Pharaoh that Moses appeared before, whether it be Shalmaneser of Assyria and so on, whatever, who thought he was everything, whether it be Nebuchadnezzar or whatever, these things were written for our instruction so that we might have comfort. I have told you already, when they seem most invincible, all it takes one cataclysmic volcanic eruption, one earthquake of magnitude beyond the Richter scale has brought about the Indian Ocean tsunami and the 2010 earthquake on a bigger scale. One major, event and so on, and all the power that they think they have. They who think they are gods, they still die as men and they fall like any one of the other rulers. We have seen this movie before. We saw it with Nazi Germany, the boast that they were going to be invincible. We saw it in Italy with the fascists who were going to restore the glory of the Roman Empire. We've seen it over and over, even the Soviet Union, which seems so unstoppable and impregnable with its military might, with its vast geographic space, unlimited resources, a collection. Look at how in the space of less than a year it disintegrated so badly. So people, take heart. Honorable Philip J. Pierre, you have the support of your people. They understand that sometimes you gotta, if not stoop to conquer, you gotta take a step back. Sometimes the yacht can't charge into the wave directly. It will get swamped. It will get overturned. It needs to take it at a slanting, oblique, diagonal angle. Sometimes it has to go in a journey that they call tacking, moving left and right and bobbing and weaving its way through. And sometimes this is what we have to do. I was moved to make this when I read something, not only about Prince Andrew, that they're finding about that his involvement with Epstein was a lot worse than previously thought, but there's a man who has held high position in the British government, in the Labour governments of Britain, called Peter Mandelson. You know, he has resigned, from the Labour Party. Peter Mandelson, a former British government minister and the UK's former ambassador to Washington, he was also a member of the European Parliament, a man who represented the British government of Tony Blair in the European Parliament in Brussels, has resigned from the Labour Party led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer following the publication of new reports about his links to Jeffrey Epstein. The Telegram reported on Sunday night, February 1st, that Mandelson said he did not want to cause further embarrassment to the party, a point he raised in his first media interview on the issue. He stressed that the allegations regarding financial payments from Epstein to him appear to be inaccurate and said he is reviewing the claims. Mandelson, who played a key role in Labour's electoral successes in the 1990s, was removed from his post as Britain's ambassador to Washington last year after the disclosure of a letter detailing his connection to Epstein. Now, it's not just about Mandelson, but let me tell you, there's a little history of Mandelson. Mandelson came down to the Caribbean when he was the UK Foreign Secretary or whatever it was, UK of Overseas thing. And Mandelson's main point was to lecture Caribbean leaders about the need to embrace same-sex marriage. And I said, you mean to tell me of all the priorities, we have had this new EPA, Economic Partnership Agreement, that they were really trying to dissect that thing and to understand. And this man comes and his priority seems to impose same-sex marriage on the Caribbean. I look at this guy and I said, you people who don't have a proper sense of priority, especially as it concerns the developing world and so on. The same way Obama went to Africa, went to his native Kenya, and wanted to lecture the then president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, about the need to... I said, what the heck is wrong with Obama? Uhuru Kenyatta got up and said, Mr. President, let me tell you, you see this matter about same-sex here in Africa and in Kenya is a non-issue. We don't even want to talk about that. Kenyatta had to put him in his place. The same Obama, the black man that we praised, who went and joined with Europe to go and do what they did in Libya, bomb there, kill Gaddafi. And a man Gaddafi admired so much. Gaddafi can't stop talking about Obama and Condoleezza Rice. I mean, when he saw a black person rising up, in America, it made him feel... There's one of the Arab leaders, the lighter skin from the north of Africa and the Middle East, who was not racist, who didn't have a colonizing mindset towards black people, that, all they were worth were to be slaves. Because all these Arabs, a lot of them, I'm saying all of them, they're very racist, they're very colonizing, And sometimes I have said to myself that Israel kicking their butt may not be a bad thing for black Africa, because it is the preoccupation that Israel keeps them in, maybe, that prevents them from having the shoulder wiggle room, that they can turn their attention to sub-Saharan Africa and blow away the black people to take their resources and so on. A lot of them, they get in their butts kicked. But so sometimes, when we see people getting their butts kicked, maybe, if Maduro did not have Trump to contend with, he would have sent an invasion into Guyana, would have no chance against him. Maybe. Not that I support what has happened there. I'll tell you my little further take on Venezuela in a while. I mentioned about same-sex. Something happened about 4 years ago, that horrified me. Because I said under Fidel Castro, it would never have happened. The new president who took over after Fidel Castro, what's his name? Miguel Diaz-Canel, whatever. The guy came and held a referendum in Cuba on same-sex marriage. And guess what? They got an instant two-thirds majority. The Cubans voted in favor of same-sex marriage. They said, wow, Cuba, that's supposed to be revolutionary. And under Castro, that would not even be entertained as a discussion. The fellas gone and the here it is, the report from 2022 is there by Jorge Rodriguez Jimenez. In a shocking referendum, Cuba voted to legalize same-sex marriage as part of a new family code within the communist government. If put into law, it will join other countries such as Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, and Uruguay. 2/3 of voters were reportedly in favor of passing the referendum, turning the tide on the island's long and hostile stance on gay rights. The Cuban government campaigned for the new law using billboards, rallies, and official media, calling for the Cuban people to support the referendum. Revolutionary Cuba. One of the things that Vladimir Putin stakes his legitimacy, that he is one of the last holdouts of resistance against this Western tide of gay marriage and so on, that he's the defender of the faith. He sells himself as a Christian. And this thing with gay marriage, it ain't coming in Russia, let whoever else, including Ukraine. Now, I'm not telling you anybody who do it that they're going to get blown away. That's not what I'm saying. That Britain and them are paying the price, and Cuba, the blockade that they're trying to strangle them from oil. Because Israel have the gay rights thing too, the same-sex marriage. It's legal in Israel, If I tell you, don't ever give time of day to people who come and tell you that this Israel there is the Israel of the Bible. But there seems to be a certain pattern, and I'm saying, boy, look at that, Cuba probably did that thinking that they would appease the West. That it came after Obama-led legalization of gay marriage by the Supreme Court and by majority decision, that they probably felt it would put them more in line with the sentiment. But look at it, all it took is a change of government. Donald Trump is there. He sees himself as a guy who wants to portray that he is some defender of Christianity. He'll bomb Islamic militants in Nigeria because they're killing Christians. It's posturing, You manage to get the support. And maybe these are all the things that they're going to use to turn the screws on Cuba. Of course, the law is still there in the United States, but what does Trump care? He simply wants to parade himself as the hero and champion of certain people so that they can blind to other things. Have you noticed that Trump has picked up the tempo, a lot of the things he's doing since that Epstein thing came? It's a good distraction because he's under the hammer for Epstein. So now you start a war here, the same thing you said about you want to end all those wars America is involved in and the forever wars. Right now, Trump is doing some hostile act everywhere. The same man who said he wanted to end it. It's a good distraction away from that Epstein thing that is threatening to bring him and several others down. It has brought down Mandelson. It has brought down Prince Andrew. It has brought down this. It has brought down Dow. And Trump will do whatever it takes to shield himself. Now, finally, let me just say something about Venezuela. And I don't know if the Cubans can find a way to work around that. I don't know if anybody realized how Delcy Rodriguez is extremely clever, People think she's caving into pressure and trying to preserve herself and her party in power. That ain't what I seen. Delcy Rodriguez is making the Americans foot the bill for the very economic collapse that they caused in Venezuela by all those sanctions. They want to tell you it's mismanagement and this and the socialists. America crashed Venezuela's oil sector with all the sanctions and blockades that they put on them. Now, Delcy Rodriguez say, you all want to capture Maduro? I'll work with you all. Let's come now. Send the investments. So now American companies will come. They'll repair all those oil rigs and all those refineries. They're going to get this diluent because Venezuela's oil is said to be of a thick, heavy type called heavy fuel oil, whatever. You can't get it to flow in the pipelines unless you pound significant amounts of a kerosene-like substance called naphthalene or whatever. They will provide it. And they are going to revive Venezuela's oil industry with their own motives in mind. It will take them a while. But by the time that while comes, what's going to happen? Trump going to be gone. Rodriguez is hoping that she can play the long game. Let you all come now and fund and invest and restore and revive Venezuela's oil industry because you all are the ones who destroyed it. So in other words, she's extracting reparations from them without them even realizing what they'll pay. They'll see the profits in the end. They'll come, they'll do everything there, and they will fix up what they have destroyed without any kind of invasion or whatever. Let them come. Let the, Exxon Mobil and Chevron and this and that, let them come. They will fix it up. They will restore it. And by the time they do that, will Donald Trump still be around? A guy who in June will be 80. A guy whose popularity is sinking meteorically. A guy who by November will be facing midterms. And if the Democrats win the kind of majority that I think they would like to win, the first thing they're going for is to impeach him. And this time impeachment is a simple game of numbers, Once they have the numbers, they're going to go to cut off the head of the snake immediately. Delcy Rodriguez is being very strategic. She's been very clever. She's being someone who's playing her cards carefully and playing it Right. I hope Trump isn't listening so that he can know to go after Delcy Rodriguez and this kind of thing.
You give away the game, man.
We'll give away a game like that. But anyway, if the Venezuelans want me to, say something else to change the dynamic, I mean, come on, man. You all have $50 million floating around. I won't even ask for all of it, Give me a little portion that I can share with Harry. Anyway, this is The Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters. I've taken up the first half hour, but when we come back after the break, it's going to be all Terry, I promise you.
I hope.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
This one will be massive! Legacy 2026, the Independence Edition. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. It's the big war! Legacy presents one of the Caribbean's greatest artists ever, the undisputed queen of soca, Destra. Yes, Destra Garcia. Destra. Then our groovy giants, Teddyson John, doing his vintage set.
I must have a woman to come and wine up on me.
And King Alpha. Plus the outstanding St. Lucian cast, a mix of legends and rising stars. Ashanti, Educator, Desra, Manchas, Black Eye. Short pants and more. Legacy 26 will be an epic show. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Rodney Bay Pavilion. Limited early birds $120. Regular $150. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Sponsored by Republic Bank, Massey Store, First Citizen, IBS Solution, Piton Bear, Crystal Clear Water, Flow, and the Independence Committee.
Come your police, come
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boost your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City C opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22 next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop, Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
A happy 60th birthday to my friend from, I won't say where people might know, I'll call her by her nickname. Happy birthday to you, Wiwin. 60 years old today. Very happy for you. So my greetings to you and to your family. I can't understand how you sent me a very nice picture of yourself.
You're not going to put it up?
And I think, huh?
You're not going to put it up?
No, listen to me. I just sent you a photo. Don't show it. This is me and my family. So if after she tell me that I go and put it up, you never know. The friendship might be challenged, from there going forward and so on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just so happy for you, Ewan, and you're a nice person. You've always reached out to me in a lot of kindness and the kind of amicable person who doesn't need to know you to be nice to you, and I'm sure you're like that with everybody. So, best wishes and blessings to you. All right. Somebody else, Muriel Finister, who was also known by the names Lena and Lima. Thank you once again for always sending best wishes my way. Appreciate it greatly, folks. This is a week where we're going to have a lot to talk about. We'll have Uber to talk about. We'll have more about this Cuban thing to talk about. There's a lot for discussion and to unpack this week. But I promise that I'll turn over to Terry, who's been away from us for quite a bit.
And we have to allay the fears of our people. Shelton can speak. Let him speak. We have a long time. We are not in a 21-day window for an election. When it's 21 days for election, I'll be nudging him and saying, right? But we have time. And remember, I told you already, I have a one-track mind. Shelton will be there, and I'll support him. But Terence Fanello, one-track mind, defend the victory. And the subplot, Operation 10,000.
And make sure that you call out and stand against the sun balance.
We have time. I'm in no rush. I'm in no hurry. We're protecting the victory. We have the back of our Prime Minister. And it's going to be Operation 10,000. They start already, They're giving us votes with the nonsense they're spewing. Imagine a talk show host will be having a talk show and talking about it is Philip J. Pierre's fault that we cannot have our students doing medicine in Cuba. What is it in Philip J's character that will do that? He's putting us first. I mean, when you see Philip J. Pierre had to make that announcement, man, he made that with a heavy heart, It's as though, he was in a vice grip. He couldn't turn. You heard Antigua.
Yeah. Antigua has discontinued their Cuban medical brigade.
And he had to go to Angola to get nurses.
Yeah, they made the announcement,
The other OECS countries, they're the same bind. You understand?
And the fellows are just sadistically calculating that Cuba will run out of oil in 21 days.
And they will fall.
And they will close it. And I said, look at this kind of sadism. You see Cuba only in the context of the communist government and this and that and so on. You don't think of the people like
That's
these are
right.
people with real lives and so on that matter.
Oh,
and I said to
no.
myself, look at the world, you know.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that the world, including Canada, does not see the United States as Donald Trump, only Donald Trump. They see a moment in time where something awful, awfully aberrant, you know, has taken place, and they know, like nothing lasts forever. That too shall pass.
I want to read the speech by the Canadian Prime Minister in Okani at the World. Not that I'm a fan of the World Economic Forum, I'm going to say that. But I suspect if you read that there, Shelton, we can kiss visas and everything goodbye because we cannot seem to be aligning ourselves. But that was a major speech, and I encourage everybody to read that. You know, go and look for it. It's online. It's available online. Kanye has read the thing, and he's making strategic moves. He was in China, signing bilateral trade deals. That has taken Washington by surprise, and they're outsourcing, so they're leaving America behind. So when a talk show is going to make it look as though Philip J. Pierre is responsible, I mean, continue on that vein. I want to tell you, continue, because Operation 10,000. And we're going to play, you know, later. You see all these school children that were running up and down, they're going to be voting in the next election. And let me tell you, the one opinion you'll get. You got 32,000 votes. Trust me, you're only going to get about 20,000 votes in the next election because you're on the wrong path. You understand? You're batting on the wrong wicket. You know that I wanted to play the pledge, but it's AI, so it will be voiced over. I want it authentic with God as my guide. I pledge allegiance to my country, Saint Lucia. I proclaim that we have to beat your chest, man, when you say that, because we are under attack, and some people they seem to have a glee that, you know, we are in the vice grip. So they're happy because they think that is going to propel them to power. Where we are losing one vote on that. We're collecting 10,000 votes from you all. Wait and see. Remember, I know you might have forgotten. Remember when we were at Badder Hill? When Champagne said something about swing. And they went after Champagne. And I told you all, do not be surprised in the next election. That's the election we had in the first. That Champagne will be voting for Philip J. Pierre. I told you also, I won't live Champagne, boy, that right you have there. I'll come and meet you. Both of us will go and vote together. I said so. And you saw all the defections and stuff. Continue on the vein you're on there. Your negativity, you know, your lack of substance, your being joyful when it seems as though we are under attack and under pressure. That's not going to help you on. Because later on, Shelton, I said, we're not in a hurry, you know. Today, Shelton batted, I'm going to go with that. When you see the next election come, those secondary school children and stuff, then stick it to y'all. Because you're not hearing, you're not understanding, you're hell-bent on destroying St. Lucia, bringing our name down, instead of standing together. And you know that, and you know the irony, Shelton, this is February. This is the month of independence. Now, I want to say, I was tuned off for a while. I disconnected. You know, my thing self, the battle relay. I only tuned in yesterday on TMI and Soufre. Wonderful. That is a time not for Labour and UWP. That's a time when we must all rally together. Yellow, red, orange. Well, orange, there are few, but orange, blue. All of us must come together as one. We have to put down all this negativity, man, and this division, and we must join hands together when we hold that battle, symbol of unity, pride, patriotism. You know, we carry that. We have to fight together because our country is under attack for no fault of anybody's. It's not the prime. You think the prime minister will do anything to jeopardize? I mean, look at the Cuban I get. We're going to lose that. Hello. You know how many people waiting for surgery? And one man takes it on his own and says, scrap that. To go to the private eye clinic is $5,500 per eye for cataract surgery. And you're rejoicing and you're saying the prime minister will do that? You think Philip J. Pierre will try to take that away from you? That is the narrative that you're pushing? No. We're going to fight back. And I'm going to tell you all that narrative you're on, you're going to be losing votes. Every time you open your mouth with that, you're losing votes. And in the next 4 years, 10,000 votes. Operation. We're going to launch that properly. I mean, Sheldon, now people have to go and face the credit union and the banks to cataract surgery. 5.5. I was waiting for the thing to open that thing. Right now, we have lost that. We have lost that. You understand? Because we have to do away with the Cubans, and they have been so helpful in our healthcare, and people are happy. People, they seem to have get some orgasmic pleasure, perverse pleasure from that, because it seems as though their side will get votes. You're only getting one vote. And let me tell you something. You see, on that sympathy, Prime Minister, we're going to do it together. We're going to gain votes, because people are going to see that some bully taking advantage. And people don't like advantage. I don't like it, I don't like to see when people have taking advantage of the weaker ones. No. And that's what's happening to us. We are at the mercy. Last night I was just talking to a friend, and I was explaining to them how, all this kind of thing can go at the man says so, correspondent banking, airplanes not flying. Look, the little thing in Venezuela there, airspace closed. You think anybody wants that? But you're not rejoicing because you figure, that will bring your side back into power. That ain't going to happen. You're not getting one vote from that, and we're not losing one. As a matter of fact, we're going to add to our vote tally. I'm warning you all, we're adding to the vote tally, because we're going to rally. We're going to make the call, explain to our people what is going on, so that they can understand who is at fault, and they can rally behind our Prime Minister. That's a man born for a time like this, He's a man pragmatic, he's measured, diplomatic. He's going to do all that he can. If he has to stop to conquer, he will, because he's putting us first. He's not going to do anything reckless. That's not in his nature. Not in his nature to do that. Yes, he'll toe the line. Yeah, we must stop. No. We are stupid. We're going to toe the line. We're going to do what we have to do to ensure that we navigate those treacherous waters, because these waters are tough now, for no fault of the prime ministers. It has been brought upon us by policies, changing foreign policy and the geopolitics. What is going on now? We understand that. And St. Lucia, we are caught in the crosshairs. The Cubans, sad to see you go. You have been so helpful. But don't worry. Don't worry. Shelton, as you said, is a biblicist? Biblicist. He believes in the word Aito. Don't worry. Don't worry. Things will level out. This morning the Fiji beach was very calm. The waters will
they'll get choppy. They'll get choppy at some time. They'll get calm again.
Yes, it'll be calm. And then things will work out. So yes, it's rough now, for no fault of ours. And those who are rejoicing and they're happy, continue on merry way. But I'm telling you, you're not bringing one vote to your side. We will get your votes. Operation 10,000.
Comrade, let me ask you
yes.
Why are we talking about votes and who getting votes and so on?
Yeah, because people seem to think that the legal murky waters we are in now, they can, use that as, political mileage to get
Comrade, the matter of votes has just been decisive.
Yes, but I'm warning them.
Let them live in their own little fantasy world.
Yes.
The matter of votes, according to what Uhuru Kenyatta told Obama, this is a non-issue.
They are non-issue, correct.
But the people have spoken, and they've spoken,
and they're going to be speaking
with a decisiveness that borders on borders on finality.
Yeah. Now, I made a comment. People try. You're trying to ridicule the prime minister, a seven-star generally. Shelton, I made the point. Our prime minister is the best prime minister in the UACS. I'm doubling down on that.
In the Caribbean. In the Caribbean?
In the Caribbean.
Comrade, do you realize that a certain prime minister who it seems felt that being controversial, just like Trump, it's amazing, a certain female prime minister who thought that being controversial and cussing out everybody, you see in record time the mess she's gotten herself in there with her own senators, with her own party members and so on. I mean, she's just not looking well configured at all, So, Philip J. Pierre keeping cool, maintaining, his composure, maintaining his dignity. A lot of people think that's weakness or softness, but he's getting the job done.
And people are copying him across the board.
Exactly.
People have what policies. Listen, you heard Mia Motley, right?
Of course, yes.
Now, I suspect Mia Motley caught herself on her way studio because she was at the good prime minister. She was at a meeting and she did not have the book of achievements. It wasn't in print, so she had to read. Copying Philip J. Pierre. So she presented her achievements. Philip J. Pierre. You see what she's doing there, the pensions and stuff, and the inland revenue and stuff. All that's Philip Japier, you know. All of that. You saw Gassy Dread. All of a sudden, they're paying CXCs, one university graduate per household.
They're looking at
following the best prime minister, Irfan Ali.
They're looking at the minimum wage.
Irfan Ali talking about increasing the pensions.
Yeah.
He's paying CXCs too. Philip Japier has led the way. Then Mia went back to poverty, period poverty.
Oh yes.
Well, is it true? Period. I mean, everybody is copying Pierre. Now, you have a video, Jacques, about the guy in Guyana. The budget, listen to this fella in Guyana there, talking about Philip Japier.
With this in mind, Budget 2026 is presented very simply under the theme, putting people first. With this in mind, Budget 2026 is presented very simply under the theme, putting people first.
What going on again? Irfan Ali, you know, that is Philip Japier, top buddy. They're discussing things, and the budget minister of finance, what happened? He's following Pierre, putting people first. He understands the concept. When I tell you we have the best prime minister in the Caribbean, you all think I'm making sport. I'm going to double down here. Try to Bobby show me. He's the best, and I can prove it because everybody is following the great Philip Japier. Everybody, all his policies are being copied across the Caribbean. Even the lady you mentioned there, she had to go anything and put 50 million for period poverty. You understand? So everybody is copying from him. They're taking it from him. He's the leader. You see, he's not a boaster. He's not a charlatan. He might not be the best orator, but I told you already, he has a working brain. And one of my colleagues might said, Phil, no, remember Moses, he had the excuse, I cannot talk. So the Lord gave him who? Joshua? I can't talk, so they gave me Joshua, but he was doing most of the talking. So Philip Japier had no big shouting to do, you know. No big talk. He's just a man with a working brain, implementing policies to alleviate the plight of the poor and the needy in our country. Everybody. So right now, Guyana, the 2026 budget, what's the theme? Putting people first. Utanli. Putin, where you got that? From Pierre, but finally they're always on the line. Top partners. You know, the Deacon Michel now went to Parliament to pass the Youth Employment Agency, pass the bill. Because he copied Pierre, he studied it and he says, I must have that. Philip Japier, what's wrong with all you? You all try to papi show, Philip, no? That ain't going to work. I tell you, you're going to lose votes. Do not do that. Ignore me. No, don't ignore me. Make me famous. You understand? Make me famous. Because while you're train your guns on me, my prime minister is working, and tomorrow you're in Parliament. And you'll follow what's happening in Parliament. So, Philip Japier is the trendsetter. He's a man, he tells you that's all he does. When he goes to his office, he thinks, what must I do to ensure that the lives of my people are better? Students, boy, that's the best time to be a student in St. Lucia. Best time. And yes, don't worry. On Friday last, I sit on a committee, I could tell you that. I sit on a committee, the Unipass. Now that's a man, Philip Japier has put money, I'll not tell you how much, in a fund to assist our students undertaking undergraduate studies. You're doing your first degree, that's in addition to the one university per household, you know. So, you know, they have sometimes ambitious people that go ahead, but they encounter a little difficulty. They can get grants, not loans, grants to help them through. It's only a man that goes to church. He doesn't talk about it, you know, like, fella, I'm a Bible student and you want obeah than anything. Philip Japier is a Christian.
That's how we use it in Powell for the
Is it true? Is it true?
The biblicist.
Oh, I'm a Bible student and you wicked like started. That's a man who thinks of people. So Unipass, as a committee, I sit on it, 3 of us, and we look at the applications and those in need, and they get grants. Grants. The other islands will copy just now. It's called Unipass. So they at university, and they need some help. Either their plane ticket, their finance, the grants up to 10,000 to help them tie them. And Friday we met, and we approved. I'm not sure if I'm at liberty to say that. A lot. We were able to help a lot of young people, a lot of our citizens with their education. So that is a man, I tell you, who is setting the pace. And as I am not in a hurry, I had a little thing lined up there. We will discuss tomorrow. We have time, right, Shelton? This show doesn't end. It's not a one-time show, and we're not on a 21-day window of election. So we have a lot of time to play a lot of what we have. So I'm back to you. This is a man who is setting the pace. That is a prime minister who understands what it is to be in need. And so he's not giving you a handout, Titus. He is giving a helping hand. So those persons on Friday, you'll be getting your call and you'll be getting your assistance to assist you in your education. Some of you are happy. Sometimes you have to make calls. And listen, Sheldon, there's no bellows doctrine there, I see names. Names. We don't ask, what's your political persuasion? What's your religion? No, we see names. And sometimes when we're not sure about what we call, hello, so. We need that piece of information. We treat everybody, citizens. We look at the need. We don't look at the color. I don't know what color. What is it? We're not on that. We're there to do a job. We are stewards of your money. That's your money. So we cannot skylark with it and mess around. And we assist our students in their studies. That's in addition to the one scholarship per household. Now that is a man that must be blessed. His steps are ordered by God. Because we're doing that. And now here, Guyana, the budget, is putting people first. So try to papi show us. We're taking 10,000 of your votes. You're going to get the most you're getting. Okay, Sheldon say forget election and votes. But I'm warning you all. Continue on that trajectory. You're all there, yeah, boy, Uber there, so these people that do that, and St. Jude, continue. The one opinion you'll get the next time. Well, you're finished already. You're finished. Nobody, no serious person will want to work along with a side. They want to work with a, we had, Sheldon, I saw you play some clips from the last convention. Imagine that, we're in power. You see, we have a constitution, we follow a constitution. I want somebody, please, can you get me a copy of the United Workers side, the constitution of that side, if there is one. You have ever seen it, Sheldon? We need a constitution. Let us see because if the leader of that side does not respect the constitution of St. Lucia, it's not the constitution of that side that will be respected. But I heard you play some stuff, and I think we need to revisit that, because the Prime Minister was in vintage form talking about a lot of things. And one of the things I want to talk about there too, because he made the claim about Wasco. Wasco, I came back for you, You're not talking to me, you're having meetings, because, I get in phone calls and ask why I'm campaigning. There must be a day of reckoning. So today, be cool. We're going to take calls in a while, because it's almost 12:30. But we're coming back. Because you told me the Prime Minister has to be giving Wasco $1 million a month. And I'm going to show you why Wasco made some bad decisions. And why there must be an accounting for a lot of stuff. Terrence Fillion, not going to let up. You understand? On that. There are other things too, the Town and Village Council's report. We're going to talk about that. Shelton, I see it's 12:30, and we might be taking calls in a while.
Is it really 12:30 already? Jaquan, or do we have a couple minutes?
We have minutes?
But it says
I'm going to call into my
All right.
We have? Okay, well, play the child from Viewfort Comprehensive. Let's help our youths, our young people.
Hi everyone, I'm Jada Kedu, the logo designer for Independence 47. The pics within this logo represents what makes St. Lucia truly special. Our resilient people and our twin Peters. Interlocking forms reflect unity, shared direction, and a collective national journey where every part depends on another. The forward flow also reflects modernization and digital transformation, embracing progress, innovation, and exploring new ways to move this nation forward while staying connected as one people. As a young creative, being selected to design this year's Independence logo signals to me that we, the young people, are being entrusted in shaping our country's future. Independence 47, Dover Assam. Nourishing our people, strengthening our nation. Happy Independence, St. Lucia.
Yeah, this is talent. Jada Kedu, wonderful. She has this, there's a break in the Independence battle really today. I think they stopped for cabinet. And tomorrow they will be in Choisey. And then they're going to move to Library on Wednesday. Man, Shelton, we must take a day to go down,
Of course.
And just immerse ourselves in the fest. Man, when I home there and I vex, I can't be in that. I can't be in that, guys, and endless excitement. I watch our reggae artists last night, a few songs. Mr. Greedy Joe! What's his name again? I'm forgetting. I need to be in that, man. I need some bacchanal, guys.
You need to contact Mishak, man.
Mishak, yes, man.
Mishak was out in full force
last
of delegates in his home, so he would know who Mr. Greedy Joe is.
You know what I mean?
I wonder if Mr. Greedy Joe, the Joe is actually a short for Joseph.
So, Miss Kedu, wonderful. Our young people, and most likely when she graduates, Shelton, where do you think she's going? To the Youth Employment Agency to get a loan and a grant to open a business, because she's a graphic artist and she's doing things. You see, there's method. There's not his madness. People are mad. There's a method to what he does, So the 4 technical schools, the 4 TVET schools that are open, those kids who are graduating, some of them they're better than us. They'll have a head start. Some of them have plans already. I know some of them are already agriculturists. They have the land and stuff. I interviewed a few of them. And some of them, it's easier to just go. There's a boy, this man can repair all kinds of machines. So all he needs is a little shop and stuff, goes there with his plan. He has that. So the employment, they can provide them. They can be self-employed. You understand? So, Kedu, wonderful. Keep it up.
Mm-hmm. All right, Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. We take our final break, and when we come back, I'm going to let Terry exercise the discretion as to whether we go into other videos and other material, or whether we open the phone lines.
Open the line.
On this Monday, we know there's always so much things to say.
Yeah, that's right.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
This one will be massive! Legacy 2026, the Independence Edition, Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m., Rodney Bay Pavilion. It's the big war! Legacy presents one of the Caribbean's greatest artists ever, the undisputed queen of soca, Destra. Yes, Destra Garcia. Destra. Then our groovy giants, Teddyson John, do him his vintage set.
I must have a woman to come and wine up on me.
And King Alpha. Plus the outstanding St. Lucian cast, a mix of legends and rising stars. Ashanti, Educator, Desro, Manchus, Black Eye. Short pants and more. Legacy 26 will be an epic show. Saturday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Rodney Bay Pavilion. Limited early birds $120. Regular $150. Tickets available at Steve's Barber Shop and The Way. Sponsored by Republic Bank, Massey Store, First Citizen, IBS Solution, Piton Bear, Crystal Clear Water, Flow, and the Independence Committee.
Come on, police. Come on, again. Friday night.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway. Call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Good afternoon to Vanessa of Piat. I promised to give you a call and to let you express yourself about the water challenges that you've been having since you made contact with me a year ago. I have to say one thing you've been very consistent about is lamenting, bemoaning the water shortages that you've had to endure. And we need to talk about that because you said that the water utilities people have come, they've done all kinds of examinations, and they're basically telling they cannot see why you're not getting water, meaning the area must have water. They've tried to help you with water trucks, but it continues. I mean, they cannot just leave the matter there, that they cannot find. They have to find a way, even if it's a bypass or something. And I think we need to talk about the things that affect the lives of everyday people. You build a new house and you're moving into it, you can do without electricity, even if it's for a while. Mm-hmm. You can do without telephone. But you see water, mm-hmm. It's absolutely essential that you have water. And I do hope that this year we'll embark in a serious way on the rainwater harvesting. You know, this reverse osmosis desalination, it's an expensive process, and I still don't think St. Lucia is at the place where we absolutely must go down that road. I know it's challenging, expanding land use changes and so on for housing, it's going to happen and so on. But I have a feeling that we still have some bite, some sting where the water is concerned. I could be wrong, but desalination is an expensive process. And the thing is, you know what? We go to desalination and reverse osmosis, you can't even talk to people about raising the water by 25 cents. 25 cents on their bill, and people will begin to cry, Monsieur, you right, you know what I mean? Anytime it's something that you have to pay money to government, people always find they're killing them. They can pay it to anybody else. They can pay for one bottle of water, bottled water. That will be the equivalent of what they pay for 1,000 gallons of Vasco water. You guys, they can put people first. You know, this is what we're going to get and so on. But I'm telling you, we need to think. I heard we say it a lot. Think outside the box. We need to look, and like the Prime Minister said, we all have to take some personal responsibility. We have to take personal responsibility. Terry.
Yeah, Shelton, as I said, we have stuff, but it's almost 2:45. Let's open the lines for our folks. Let them have their say.
Okay, the numbers, oh boy, we have one already, so I don't even need to say the numbers. We have our first call on the WhatsApp line. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead, my friend.
Hello, gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir.
Wonderful discussion this afternoon. Yes, as usual.
Yeah.
And very concerned about the Cuban stuff, because it will affect us. It will have a lot of repercussions on us in the long run. Yeah. I don't understand how anybody will be rejoicing over that. Yeah, this folk really hate their country. I just don't get it. Yes, and at the same time, I want to send birthday wishes to my good friend Cornelia. I'm asking her when should I come for the cake? Where is the party at? Yes, I hope she's listening. Cornelia, your good friend. All right, I hope you have a wonderful birthday today. The Queen of Talk Show. Yes. Okay, gentlemen, it's good to be back for you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks a lot. All right, the number on which he just reached us is 487-9849. That's the WhatsApp line. We also have the landline, which is 4533-911. And on that, someone is waiting. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Shelton.
Hi, how are you doing?
Not too bad. Terry, how are you, my brother?
Good, man.
Okay, Terry. Sorry. Shelton. Was it on Friday you were discussing Uber's entry into the taxi market here?
Yes, and we'll be having an expanded discussion on that again on Wednesday on this program, because the interest that it has generated, the messages I have received, we were not able to do justice to it. So we'll be dealing with it in depth and more extensively.
Okay. I heard my friend Carlton, when he called, he spoke of the dynamic pricing aspect of the Uber app. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. And the way he explained that it works is that if there's a time frame or time window within which there's a great demand, or there's a demand for the service, whether to this in this particular area or that particular area, the price can increase significantly. Now, Shelton, something we need to factor into this particular issue isn't like the bus system. Isn't the taxi system price controlled? Hello?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think so.
Yeah, the bus system is price control,
yeah.
definitely.
What about the taxi system? Because the thing is, from all I seem to recall that it is price
Well, they're
control.
rates. They're definite rates that they are. That basically to maintain consistency and uniformity. I think they're rates.
Okay, now.
I don't know if it is price controlled in the same way as public bus fares are, but they are rates.
Okay. Well, let us just assume or consider that if it is price controlled, how does the dynamic pricing in terms of Uber's app factor into that? Because if people say, look, I want to go from point A to point B, but I know that the price, according to the government pricing, is $30. But Uber, because of its dynamic pricing, because of the app, because of the dynamic pricing aspect of the app, says, well, you need to pay $40. How do we deal with that in the face of the pricing regime that is attached to the taxi system? So that is just another element that needs to be considered, Shelton, because if it is that it is true that that is price controlled, what happens? Does the government then amend the law to allow that? And if it does, what will be the reaction of the bus drivers? Will they then say, if you can do that for that particular app, what about us?
Okay.
So I'm just throwing that out there as as another element that needs to be added to the mix when the discussion starts on Wednesday, Shelton. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just thinking, what if the price control measures pertain to what is deemed public transportation?
Mm-hmm.
Would Uber fall into the category of public transportation? Or is it private arrangements that are subject to just free market forces?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I haven't really checked whether the taxi fares are set in the same way as public transportation fares. They are rigid. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the free market things are arrangements between a buyer and a seller.
Yeah.
And once they're agreed with it and so on, you don't find any dispute. So I don't know that you can say that taxi operators can be charged or pulled up if the recommended fare or the fare whatever to the morn is $30 and they take $50 from somebody. If there is, I don't really know. I don't understand it at this stage. But we're going to have more discussion. I have a recorded piece of audio from a representative of Uber. I was trying to get them on the program, but it looks like the representatives for Uber that would apply to St. Lucia, that they are mostly Spanish-speaking people. Yeah. They are people from Latin America, South America, the Dominican Republic, and so being on a live program is challenging for them. Yeah. However, they can prepare a statement, they can use Google Translate or whatever and read it out in English, but to actively participate. That is why on Wednesday I'm going to be having two St. Lucians, basically one who's for Uber, not exactly, and another one who says Uber will be bad for us, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. We have a call on the line. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead. Yeah, on the WhatsApp line. We have someone on the... Good afternoon. Yeah, go ahead, my friend.
Both. And happy birthday also to Cornelia Jacob. Enjoy your special day and God's blessing and much love from the People's Platform and Anson Maxwell.
All right, Anson Maxwell.
Yes, Brother Sheldon, I want to deviate a little bit on that. I heard Brother Federer talking about Wasco and Lucilec. I saw a tip where the contractor, Mr. Kajada, is doing some nice road work on the road.
In Norbe,
but then some of the electrical poles are left in, somewhere in the road that is newly contracted. I mean, imagine the road is completed and you have electrical poles in that. This, in my humble opinion, is a recipe for disaster. Because you have drivers on the road, they are driving. You have a road that is completed, that, you compacted and paved. And then you have to come back and move the electrical poles in the middle of the road. Now you have people driving up and down. To me, that is creating an atmosphere where anybody can just run into the pool because they're on the road. And I am asking that you use your show to draw, attention, since Mr. Fenelon is talking about Wasco and Lucilec. This is very, very, very dangerous. The contractor said he asked for an estimate, and they will not give him a bill of quantity. They will just give him a bulk price. Before an accident happens, I am asking that this matter be addressed because it's very serious. And I am hoping that it does not have to take people's life on the road with electrical poles being in the middle of the road and then nothing is being done because there is a problem for the price arrangement. Right. I am hoping that your platform can be used to address those poles, electrical poles, in the middle of the road.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. All right, real issues. You're on the air. Go ahead. Yeah, call on the landline. You're on the air. Go ahead. Hello. Call on the landline. You're on the air. Hello. All right. Okay.
Person is doing something else.
All right. That's another caller we have there. All right. So we continue taking your calls. But like I said, the Uber thing on Wednesday, I expect to go extensively into that one. The matter about what Reno Gajada said pertaining to the Norbert Viesikri Road and Lucilec dealing with him.
I was kind of surprised to hear that.
But I think, at some point we might need the intervention of Infrastructure Minister Sean Edwards to be able to bring the parties, bring, the contractor, bring Lucilec together and work out some kind of solution.
This is a major piece of road.
Yeah. Okay, real issues. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sheldon. How are you doing?
Doing great, and you?
So far, so good. Sheldon, I observed something, and I do not know if it was permitted, but are you familiar with the Ladera Resort in Soufrière?
Well, who isn't? Yes. Formerly Dashin, right?
Yes. I passed there this morning, Sheldon, and I saw they put they plant some palm trees on the other side of the road. And between every palm tree have about 2 or 3 boulders. And I'm saying to myself, Sheldon, if you find yourself in that area and you have a punctured tire in that area, or you have a mechanical problem, where can you pull up to repair, to take out your tire? Or supposing somebody is coming down the road full speed and for whatever reason swerving the road and you want to escape an accident, you're going to damage your vehicle on all those boulders from the end of the road to, you see, the whole front of their building, their business where they have the security area there. From that whole side about 200 feet long.
So is it on their property? Hold on. Is it on their property? The boulders and the palm tree.
It is not on their property. It is on the other side of the road. I don't think the side opposite them is their property. Okay. If it is on the same side with their business, fine. But on the other side of the road, the opposite side of the road.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it is their property. I don't know.
Maybe.
Which I doubt very much. If that property belongs to somebody, it would have to be.
We mustn't assume.
Is on the other side of the road.
If you don't have definite information, we mustn't assume that probably it's theirs. But if it's not, a complaint needs to be made.
Yeah,
and the other thing too.
If you get a flat tire or you have to go off the road for whatever reasons, you cannot even go there. About 200 feet long with boulders and trees. I mean, that I don't know.
All right, I think there are alternatives that can be explored. There is that kind of, how you call that kind of the metal strip thing that they say has
because I remember at one time they put some boulders up by the gardens there, just because people used to park there, and that thing was removed because on the sidewalk there you couldn't put that there.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. All right, thank you very much. Yeah. There are also a couple of what look like median barriers that were never used because of the whole fiasco with that road.
Yeah.
Up by how you call that? Rodney, opposite where Kilago used to be there.
Right.
And they have a couple of them, and the way they are, the angle at which they are, will be onto any vehicle if it crashes into them, not from the long side, but from the short cross-sectional side.
Yeah.
You know, the rules of physics pertaining to pressure, force per unit area. If a vehicle should ram into that, and it hits it on the short side, the cross-sectional side, I can see an absolute disaster happening there. So we need to look at a lot of things. Boulders are not the only ones. But we have a call on the line. Hello?
Yeah, gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Gentlemen, I am quite aware what the gentleman just said there. I drove past that there once, a couple weeks ago. And that cannot be legal. I'll tell you why. Because I think every major road, the government have a level of roadside. I don't know if it is 5 or 10 feet that is crown property. Where this thing is, this is a violation to me of that infrastructure, that road network. Because I did once call to verify whether government had any, because see, people build their walls literally on the road. People put whatever they put, but it's not right. It is not right, and what Lazera has done there, I think motor is on the whole. Literally, even the tree, when those trees get to a reasonable size, it will become false. The palms of those palm trees will pose problems. Because one can literally see that is literally in the road. And that should never happen in a small country. All right? And they haven't revisited it. Now, on the other hand, Sheldon, I hear you talk about desalination and the cost of it. Let me tell you something. If it is for solutions alone, we will have nothing. We're not a tax-paying people. We like to get that stuff. When you tell me Wasco charges you 1,000 gallons of water for $20-something, something careful and think hard. Can Wasco ever make a money? Wasco cannot even pay his bills like utility bills. Wasco have pumps pumping the water from the forest to treatment plant. Man, you're talking about 1,000 gallons of the same people you're talking about that will call. If government has to wait until people are happy to, and you don't look, man, government has to do what they have to do. The desalination plant is a must. If not, when big business or hotels come here, make that pass. Because too many people in this country is literally getting starved, and those big trucks carrying all the water to those hotels. Something has to be revisited. If we are at this time, 2025, we just enter in 26, and already Wasco already talking about the dry season. Man, let me tell you, water harvesting, if there's no rain, you can't harvest shit. Okay? And my point is, we have to go forward. We have to give Wasco a raise for him to find out where they could get another source, whether it's whatever source. But we don't have rivers. We don't have no river in the country. You want to see rivers, you go to Dominica. We don't have rivers. We don't have water here. And we are growing as a country leaps and bounds. Tourism, we're building hotels, we're building all sort of stuff. That, like you said a while ago, water is a must. So, two things must happen. Look into the desalination business, and who could afford, the government should revisit the indigent who cannot pay and who can pay. But Wasco has to make more money of selling of the product. You want to call it a national product, whatever it is, they have to make more money. That's the bottom line. And so we can move forward with this whole thing. Okay, my brother?
All right. Thank you very much. All right, let me release this. I saw somebody who's appearing on our screen as animator. Good afternoon. Welcome to The Real Issues. You don't have much time.
I know I don't have much time. Now, I didn't want to hang up to seem disrespectful, but the contribution I wanted to make has to do with Wasco. Since you'll have wrap up time, I'm going to allow you on that, and I will call tomorrow, God willing, with a Wasco issue, because Wasco needs to take responsibility for a lot of the things that are going wrong with our water system. We go talk tomorrow. All
right, thank you very much.
And happy birthday.
She could have had a couple of minutes to say what she did, but apparently it's a whole sermon that she wanted to deliver, you know. And I'm sorry about that. I would have liked to hear her on that. Has caused a lot of problems that we know about. It's a whole situation. Yes, there are inefficiencies, but it is the paradox and the challenge of providing people with cheap water that we have this mindset that water must not be more than a certain price and a certain rate. But it is not the water you're paying for, it's the cost of bringing you the water, you know. But we have our final caller. You're on the air, go ahead, real issues.
Sheldon.
Yeah, hi.
Pardon?
You're on the air, go ahead. Yeah, I'm hearing you, go ahead.
Sheldon, Daniel, at last one, yes.
Oui,
Good afternoon.
Oui, forward là, on ne peut pas aller vite, nous pas arrêter de jeter.
Avec tout ça, nous avons fait, tout le monde l'a prié. God will, on s'est arrêté beaucoup, eh bien, c'est une minute sur la prière, il pas tellement long. God will take care of us, for he has said he will never leave us or forsake us. Hebrews chapter 14 verse 5, may our troubled hearts find peace and comfort in the knowledge that we never alone. May God present case our trembling spirit and give us rest. He knows how we feel. He is ever awake of our circumstances and ready to be our grace and our peace. He is there to cast on light into all our darkened shadows and to send encouragement through the love of friends and family and to replace our weariness with new hope. God understands. He is our provider today, tomorrow, and always, and he loves us. Cast all our cares on him and believe. I thank you and we thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Merci un peu forward là. And she definitely has to be our final caller. We have to wrap it up. Thank you once again, Terry.
Yes.
Nice having you back, and thanks, Jaquan. A lotto cuts in live, so we got to say goodbye for this first program of the week and of the month of February. God willing, let's do it again tomorrow for another run of the real issues powered by Blue Waters. Shelton Daniel signing out.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
401. Lucky 3, 925. The Lucky Primo TX Ball drawn is 5X.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff.